Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nina Silic, nutrition and lifestyle coach, and today we're going to talk about the scale and all the things that make that weight fluctuate. Okay, this one really goes out to my ladies. I mean, guys, this applies to you, but particularly the ladies, because I've been speaking to so many of you one-on-one lately, and you are all freaking out over the scale. And look, I get it. It's like you weigh yourself one day and you're one weight, and then you weigh yourself the next day and the scale's gone up, and it's like, oh my God, your whole world comes crashing down because the weight is increased, and I don't know, the scale gods cannot let that weight increase because my life is over if the scale increases.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And it happens. It's true. It freaking happens. So many of you let the number on the scale dictate what kind of day you're going to have or what kind of week you're going to have. It's like that scale goes up and your day is ruined. It's over. Life as we know it is over until that number comes back down and you turn to drastic measures to get that weight down for the rest of the week. Does that sound familiar? I'm pretty sure that sounds familiar. Hey, I've done that before too. In the past, I used to freak out if the scale increased by 100 grams, 200 grams, half a pound, whatever numbers you're working with. It gets to you. I get it. Mentally, that's so hard to take when you see that scale fluctuating. But I'm here to tell you it's so normal. Very, 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 very normal. And now listen really closely. I'm going to say it again. It's very normal for the scale to fluctuate, that number on the scale. Your weight is going to fluctuate from day to day. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why. So let's talk about 7 reasons why the scale fluctuates and why you don't need to freak out over them. You ate a lot of sodium the day before. That can be you adding a lot of salt to meals. It can be just eating out. If you eat a lot of sodium or even just more sodium than your body usually takes on a day-to-day basis, you are going to retain more water in your gut, and it's going to make you weigh heavier on the scale. So for example, every single time I eat pizza, every single time I go and eat sushi the night before, those 2 in particular, I guarantee you I would weigh about 2 pounds more the next day, so easily. It's not body fat. It's clearly not body fat, because if I've been sticking to eating my calorie intake and I'm not eating like an a-hole and overdoing it and binge eating, everything else stays the same. I know that that weight increase is just because of some extra sodium I had the night before. Reason number 2. Okay. You had a really hard resistance training session the day before. Or you're somebody who hasn't really been doing much resistance training and you start resistance training, okay? Resistance training can cause inflammation because you're tearing those muscle fibers up, and that can make you weigh heavier on the scale the next day. It's not going to last forever, but for that time being, your weight can fluctuate up. So if you're training quite hard, or you're starting a new training program, or you're new to training, remember that most likely that scale number is going to increase, but you don't have to worry about it because it should subside over the following weeks. Okay, reason number 3. You ate more carbohydrates than usual. Now, carbs are not bad. I'm not saying carbs are the enemy. Carbs are your friend. Carbs are fine. Carbs are delicious. You don't need to reduce carbohydrates just because of the scale. So what I'm saying is, if you eat more carbohydrates than you usually do, you may see an increase in weight on the scale. And that's just because the more carbohydrates you eat, you're going to retain a little bit more water. Don't be scared of the water weight, guys. It's fine. Water fluctuates in your body. It's normal to do so. For example, some days I'll track total calories over tracking macros, and that might increase my carbohydrate intake for that day compared to usual. So that can make my weight increase the next day. Is it body fat? No. So if all those other variables are the same, like I'm eating my total calories, I'm not overeating, binge eating, over consuming, my weight is just going to increase a little bit from some extra carbohydrates. Also, in saying that, some days you might just eat a larger amount of food volume, or you might have a higher calorie day that's structured and you eat more food in general. You're going to weigh heavier the next day. So just keep that in mind. It's okay to see the scale go up the next day or the next couple of days if you're consuming more carbohydrates or more total calories. Reason number 4. I see this one so much, where I get a client update me and say, oh my gosh, my weight is up this week, but my digestion's kind of sucked. I'm like, okay, have you used the bathroom? Have you pooped in the last few days or no? And for the most part, they'll be like, oh, actually, no, I haven't really gone to the bathroom, or I haven't gone properly, or my digestion's a bit funny. I'm feeling a bit more constipated or bloated. Let's be real, guys, there's never too much. There's never a TMI moment here, okay? So you have to realize that if you're not going to the toilet, or you're weighing yourself before you use the bathroom in the morning compared to usual, you are going to weigh more on the scale. And then the next day, I guarantee you, if you go to the bathroom and get everything out of your system, you can be a pound lighter, even sometimes up to a kilo lighter, depending on how your digestion has been. So remember, if you don't poop, you can be heavier. Okay, reason number 5. This one's for my ladies, because gents, this doesn't apply to you. Well, no, it doesn't. Well, no, definitely not. So ladies, when you are getting your period and coming close to your period, getting in there with a vengeance like usual, because it's so much fun getting that. It sucks, Ricky. It sucks. Oh, he's like, oh my gosh, la 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 la. Okay, so particularly the few days leading up to your period, you're going to weigh a bit more because your body is retaining more fluid. I see this, I've seen this with hundreds of clients. Every single month I see it, where their weight increases at least 1 to 2 pounds, which is about half a kilo to a kilo, about 4 days out from that period, it starts to increase up, and it can stay up and then it tends to come back down. So whenever you're getting close to your period, or while you're on your period, expect to weigh more, okay? I've seen some people even weigh up to 4 pounds more or 2 kilos more. So if you're keeping everything else the same, your activity level is the same, you're not overeating on your calories, you're consuming pretty much the same as usual, you know that that weight increase is just from those hormones, that fluid, that time of the month that we all love so much. But it happens, right? We have to deal with it. So something really good you can do is compare each period weigh-in to the previous one. So that's why I like to keep a log of an average weight per week. So I might weigh myself 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 7 days a week, depending on how I'm feeling. And I take an average of that weight. So you can compare that week to week. You can also compare that month to month on the week of your period. So let's say you're dieting and you want to see your weight trending down. Well, if I'm weighing 135 this period, but I was weighing 137 the last period I had, you can clearly see things are trending down, right? So don't freak out. That 1 week, your weight's going to be higher. You just need to be patient and give it time and let that weight come back down once everything has flushed out. Okay, so reason number 6 is hydration. So if you are quite dehydrated, you may weigh lighter on the scale. If you drink a lot of fluid to compensate the next day, that may put you up heavier on the scale. Some people retain fluid actually when they're dehydrated because their body is retaining fluid, so everyone's a little bit different here. But if you see your weight jumping up and down quite a lot and everything else is kind of the same, like your calories, activity level like we've spoken about, look at your hydration, and is that pretty consistent, or is that really up and down for the week? So yeah, check your hydration. Are you hydrated? Is your water intake consistent and not jumping up and down for the week? Number 7 is poor sleep. Okay, sleep can really mess with everything. So if you're having really poor sleep, the first big factor is generally it'll mess with your hunger hormones. So for most people, what I generally see is if you're lacking sleep, you're making poor choices, or you're craving more food and you tend to overeat, which can make you weigh more. For some people, just that lack of sleep adds more stress to their bodies as well, and that can make you weigh more because stress does weird stuff to your weight. I've seen it, it's weird. It like just goes crazy. So make sure you're sleeping really well. If you're not sleeping and your weight starts to fluctuate, you know why. But yeah, I don't know, that was it for that one. That's it for that one. Make sure you're sleeping really well. So you guys, as you can see, I just went through 7 reasons why your weight can fluctuate on the scale, but there are also so many other factors in life that can cause that. I didn't even talk about stress. I didn't talk about life happening. There are so many variables that can influence the scale weight. So when you step on that scale next and you see your weight increase, make sure you take a moment to really think about, all right, rather than just freaking out and going, oh my gosh, I gained weight, my life is over, and I have to go and eat nothing and do hours of cardio. Yeah, no, do not do that. Let's not do that. Let's just take a minute and think about, okay, what are some reasons why my weight may have increased today or this week? Go through that list, write it down. Look at everything from an outside perspective and look at the overall picture. And if your weight has increased for the week, it's okay. Just give it another week or 2 to come down back to normal. So that's it. There you go. There's some reasons why the scale can fluctuate. I hope you guys found this video really helpful. If you did, I'd love to hear from you. So make sure you comment below and tell me. Also make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video, and give me a thumbs up, because it really helps my channel, you guys. And I love hearing from all of you. So again, comment, comment, comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.